All right, cool. So topic number 2, we're gonna get into, it's a crazy little thing that's been going on, UAD plugin sales. Like, I'm all for a good deal, but like the sales are getting to the point where they kind of like almost alienating the people who's bought the plugins already in the past. So one thing is and always is constant about UAD. That's why I kind of like the UAD route over like some of the other companies except Plugin Alliance. They don't make you pay updates and stuff. Like, so you bought your LA2A 10 years ago. As long as you got a DSP, you can run it. So now they starting to sell their plugins for like $40 each. And it made me think like, man, like what about all the people who, like let's say that same plugin, I remember you couldn't even get a UAD plugin for like less than $200 like 6-7 years ago. I remember I got my SSL for like $120 and I was so geeked because I got a UAD plugin for less than $200. So it's kind of crazy that they like, if you pay attention to it every couple weeks, they've been giving like ridiculous deals. One of them I'm upset at myself for not taking advantage of, because it's one of those things you like, yeah, okay. But nah, when you really think about it, like because of the plugins I've bought in the past, they was gonna give you every plugin for like, give me for like $800. I'm like, wait. When the sale went past, I'm like, man, that was probably the best deal I'm ever gonna get from them for like DSP powered plugins. And I understand why they gotta kind of adapt to the times, because the plugin capabilities with like just native plugins is different now, because we got M1 Max and M2s and M2 Pros and M2 Maxes and all the furthermore and so on, whatever. But so you don't need so much of that DSP power. I know me personally, I don't even start using my DSP plugins until I start running out of resources, and I rarely run out of resources. Now, if you like a Logic dude, you rarely run out of resources if you're using like native silicone plugins. So it's crazy that they're adapting to the times, but I think they should do it with better bundles, not individual plugins for $40. That mean they getting on the same train Waves was on a few years ago. I remember like having homies who bought Waves bundles for $2,000 and all that, and I gradually bought my little $20 plugins and got all the plugins they got. Cause like over a 2-3 year span, every plugin goes on sale eventually. So if I bought all mine for $20, the same 65 plugins that's in their bundle that they paid $1,500 for, those 65 plugins might have cost me what? If I'm buying them $30 each, what, 65, $30 each? That's like $195 it might have cost me. I mean, nah, not 195, 1,900. So I guess I'm still closing price now. You don't think about it when you gradually buying them. But if I was to buy every plugin in one of them bundles, it'd end up costing the same. So I guess I can stop crying. Because the UAD one, it was like 100 and something plugins. So I guess if you're charging 100 and something plugins $40 each, yeah, that's 4 racks, so 4 stacks. So yeah, that's not even close. So I guess at this point is pointless. Be quiet, because I was about to buy all the plugins for $800 and I'm waiting. Black Friday, please let UAD drop that sale again, because it's like one of those things when people go crazy standing in line shopping for TVs. But if you pay attention to the newspapers and pay attention to the online emails and all that you get from these companies, the same deal happened in September. You just had to have the money in September or be paying attention. I wasn't really paying attention, thinking about it like, bro, I could have bought every UAD plugin for $800. Like, what was I thinking, man? I should have sold something if I ain't had the bread. It wasn't even about me not having the bread. I just literally did not think about it, did not take advantage of it, literally didn't pull the trigger. But I'm mad because I got a quad. We got an Octo here, and I got a quad at the crib with my production set up. So man, just put both of them. I would have had, like, that's the second part that I wasn't really thinking about. The X16 here plus the Octo, so that's 16 chips right there, and I got 4 at the crib. So literally, like, I'm giving myself unlimited UAD plugins for that 800 bone. So I'm waiting on that 800. Please bring that back. Even 1,000, I'll rock with 1,000. But yeah, it just kind of was different. I would say that's what kind of threw me, because it was kind of different seeing UAD sell plugins for 40 bucks. I'm like, is this native plugins? Because you know they got the native joints or the Spark. I'm like, are they selling those? But nah, it's like DSP joints. I'm like, okay, cool. On one hand, this is the same plugin they've been selling for 15 plus years. Okay, I get that. But that was the whole point. Like y'all plugins were like more valuable because, like I say, with Waves, I subscribe to Waves because Waves make you pay that $240 every year to update all your plugins. Like, bro, if you pay 25 bucks a month, it come out to $27 after tax. $27 for the whole year. That's what, $320? So that $320 for the whole year, and I get all their plugins. So that it was 200 plugins, 100 something plus Waves plugins. That's a no-brainer. Even though I probably got about 40 of them, it's still about 25, 30 of them I would like to have. And even if I bought them 30 bucks each, that's $750. So that's 2 years of me paying that. So I'm like, I'm doing, and I'm getting all the new plugins. Yeah, I'm doing that. So I subscribe to the Waves. So with the UAD, I always said if UAD just did a subscription, 60 bucks a month for us to have all of them, they would have killed everybody a few years ago, but they didn't do it. They didn't pull the trigger. They should have, because that would have made more people buy their interfaces. They weren't thinking. They was thinking more like basically making us go back to the pump. Like they weren't really thinking it out. If they had made it so we can subscribe to their plugins, everybody would have had a UAD interface. Literally everybody. Even like, you got to think like the 16, that's like $4,000. So, but if I could pay you $4,000 and then 50 bucks a month continually, like, bro, how much money you getting from me? $8,000-9,000 over a 3, 4, 5 year span? Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? I think they weren't thinking it through. Or even if I buy a twin solo when those came out, like $600-700, and then I'm giving you another $500 every year. That was a no-brainer. I think they jagged with that. Now they kind of like making their plugins less valuable, honestly. So I don't think they're gonna be able to keep pulling that with us. But it's kind of crazy, man. That's, like I say, my topics are about like things that like, whoa, what's that? Or like it might be new stuff I learned or whatever. But that's one of those things where like, wait, hold up. UAD plugins for 40 bucks? I happen to have the plugins that they've been putting on sale lately, but it was still crazy to me. Like, bro, I bought this Distressor, not Distressor, or like this LA2A, because you know the legacy one and the one you buy is not the same. So I bought this, the one pay extra for like 100 bucks, and now they giving it to people for $40, the same plug-in DSP. Like, so yeah, it's crazy though, man. But yeah, Antelope may play a part in that too, because I use Antelope plugins. I got an Antelope interface at the crib. I don't have an Apollo at the crib. I got an Antelope interface, and I got a quad DSP. So that's how I use the UAD plugins. But here at the studio, we got the Apollo 16, X16. So yeah, I'm entrenched. I'm in bed with them. I ain't going nowhere. So, but I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes out for that mega deal if it comes back around. That may be a once in a year thing, and I'm salty because I'm gonna have to wait till next year to get it.